Hey, everybody, welcome to another segment of Healing Conversations. We're so glad that you are joining us tonight. So, we're going to give you some time to like, to share. We want you to like, share. We want you to start a watch party. We want you to come on in and join the conversation with us tonight. So, come on in, come on in, come on in. We're gonna give you some time to come on in. We're gonna give you some time to say hello if you want to say hello. Um, give you some time to like, to share, give us some hearts, give us some thumbs up, let us know that you're there. We want you to say hello to us so we know who's watching, because we never know unless you say something. So please let us know who's watching. Please say hello. Please share. Do a watch party. Hey, Jaden, good to see you again. Always. Um, I'm always glad that you come and show up. Yeah. Hey, how you doing? So glad to see you. So come on in, come on in, come on in. We are glad to have back Miss Marlon. We're glad that she's back in Healing Conversations. We're glad that she's back from Jamaica. So we are so glad to have her back. I'm so glad to see her because we have missed her.
Likewise.
Yes, we have missed her because I need some well-being stuff. You know, I need to re-up. I was just like, oh wait.
I
So
get it.
welcome back, Miss Brown. Tell us how you're
Thank
doing.
you. I'm good. I'm good. Every time I go to Jamaica, I come back replenished, grounded. So I'm good. Like we've had conversations about knowing where our happy place is and keeping in touch with our happy places. When I went down to Jamaica, there was a lot of rain. Literally was storming. And my mom was like, "Are you sure? Like, I'm seeing all these videos with all these things happening." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm going home. I'm fine. I get what's happening in the videos, but I'm going home. So I had a great time, grounded, reflected on the basis of like what's important, basically. And that's just family and taking care of myself, taking care of my loved ones as usual. And so having that time, those 2 weeks to tap in, to be on the land, to see the simplicity of life way up in the hills and in the mountains was just what I needed to be able to come back and to give in the way that I do. So definitely I'm good.
Hey, can you go please tell me exactly?
I'm not hearing you.
Can you hear me?
It sounds a little bit low.
It does. Oh, let me adjust my volume here. Um, I said next time you go, take me with you, please.
Yes.
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 Well, I am glad that you were able to have that time when you could go and replenish yourself, your mind, body, and spirit. That you came back ready and rejuvenated, and what I'm saying, and that you made it there and back safely. So we're glad.
Yes.
We're
Yes.
so,
I'm grateful.
we're so glad. So yes, because we missed you the last couple of weeks. Well,
Likewise.
yeah, because last week we had a really good one last week. We talked about a number of things. We talked about finding your inner strength. We talked about forgiveness, um,
Mm,
and being able to let go and to release. So
mm,
we had Natasha on last week, along with another one of our sister friends, Teresa Jackson, and her brother was on too. So we had, it was four of us. We had a good, nice little conversation there.
good. Hmm.
Just talking about healing and forgiveness, and uh, we talked about doing a battle scars, maybe closer to the holidays when people. We talked about it. People probably could come and write down their scars and just come and drop them in the fire. But now that uh, COVID is on the rise again, it's spiking. I got to rethink how I want to do, um, battle scars.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I think we'll probably just have people that can, you can inbox me your battle scars, things that you want to let go of. You can send them. You can send it to me through a text, I will or email. So what I'm going to do probably is just post my email address, so that people can just send me what they want me to put in the fire for them to release and let go. Because even
Oh.
though you might not be able to um, uh, present, physically put it in the fire, but it will be streamed live, and that the process of releasing it and writing it is just as healing as seeing it go up in flames. Actually.
Mhm.
So if you're out there, you're listening, just be on the lookout for that post that will go out in a couple of weeks, so maybe a couple of days probably. So because we talked about doing Black Friday weekend, and people start to their process of releasing. So we're running it until the end of the year. So every week people can send stuff that we can do and put the fire pit out. And so yeah. Um, so we talked about like a lot of that. We talked about letting go. I was thinking this week. I was supposed to do um, a session yesterday on the holiday blues, and
Mhm.
but it ended up, I was their backup person, so the person who they had originally asked was able to do it. So I had already prepared like what I was going to do, but I didn't get to do it. But and then I thought, no, that might be a good conversation too. Saying talking about the holiday blues, because we are entering into a time where people are um, starting to get the holiday blues, because um, the holidays are approaching us. A lot of people don't like to be alone on the holidays. Some people do. This is the time when people remember family loved ones that they have lost, and so it can be a very depressing time uh, during this time. I know, and I think about my own family. We are still grieving the loss of my cousin who committed suicide 3 years ago. Um, 3 years ago, this past Monday, just passed. And so, uh, just realizing that, especially during this time, suicide is real, depression is real. There are a lot of people hurting. There are a lot of people who um, are needing people to check in on them, and things like that. So, um, I thought that would be a good conversation starter, talking about the holiday blues, and if people would share, what do you do during the holidays to kind of keep you kind of energized, kind of keep you in good spirits, things like that. Do you, or are the holidays difficult for you? Saying, do you find it hard um, dealing with the holidays of the season, things like that? What do
Mhm.
you think about that?
As it relates to the holiday blues, for me, I think a lot of it is about not doing too much, not overdoing it. Um, as as brown people in America, I think that there are certain times that we were allowed to be happy. Like happiness wasn't something that was constant. And so having my own rituals and my own practices surrounding the holidays are important for me. Um, Overcompensating, like, the 500 gifts underneath the tree, like, for me personally, kids don't need that. They're okay with a few good toys and then time, like intricate time. I think our society tells us that we have to overdo it, overspend, overeat, overdrink. And, it's like a numbing. And
Mm-hmm.
then um at the end of the holidays, like we're then after everyone overspends and overeats and overdoes it, then come January 1st and everyone's setting New Year's resolutions because we have to lose 30 pounds that we gained over the holidays. And it's like, I'm just not getting caught up in that. Like, I'm going to love on my children and we're going to love on each other the way we do every day. Um, and just setting those boundaries for yourself. Like, I'm not getting swept up in all of that. Like, because I understand deck the halls and being jolly and all of that. And I love the smell of Christmas. I love the smell of the cinnamon, the pine cones, the hot chocolate being made. It's nostalgic, and it reminds us of like being children and the happiness that goes with all of that. But that understanding that it doesn't make sense to overdo it and to numb yourself with all these things, because then you have a whole year to try to fix what we've done in a few months. You understand?
Exactly.
Like, as I age now, my body isn't going to bounce back as quickly as it did before. In my 20s, to be able to drop 5 and 10 pounds was simple, but now it's not that simple anymore. And my body cannot take on all of those extras just because it's the holidays. So I can't forget that there are certain health issues that's linked to overeating. There are certain health issues that's linked to over drinking. And so, just having that constant balance, because after Christmas, if Christmas is on a Tuesday, the next day still going to be Wednesday.
Yes, sir. Yep.
It's still going to be Wednesday. And so, having that knowing that all is well, even if whether or not you have a tree up, all is well. Whether or not you have 500 gifts under the tree, all is well. Because if we're living in true gratitude and true balance, then the fact that we're here, the truth is there are a lot of people who started off 2020 who are not here in December and are not going to be here for Christmas. They're not going to be here for Thanksgiving because they've passed on, they've transitioned. Yeah. So if this wasn't the year where we're supposed to learn those life lessons about what true gratitude is, the fact that I can inhale and exhale and I'm not hooked up to any type of machine means that I'm grateful. And I'm going to be grateful. I'm going to be grateful regardless of what holiday it is. So holding true to that gratitude and the fact that, life is changing and the only thing that we can do is make sure that we keep ourselves and our families loved on and okay. And especially for those people who have children. A lot has changed. Like, people aren't even going out shopping like that anymore for Christmas. Everything is coming in through Amazon. It's just boxes and boxes being piled up. So holding the fact true that life is changing, we still love our children, we still love our families, but we have to move in alignment with what is truly happening, and we have to teach our children what's happening and make sure that we create a life that's sustainable for them now in this new world that we live in. It's not the same anymore. And so basically, in terms of, the holiday blues for me, and I remember when I was younger, like feeling kind of like pressured to be a part of it. Feeling like I had to be a part of the holiday parties. I had to be a part of the Secret Santas. Create your own rituals as to what feels good for you, and for what's sustainable for you. Because if it's not sustainable and it doesn't feel good, then it's not going to make you happy. Hi.
Hello.
How come I'm not hearing? I'm not hearing y'all. Like,
Can you hear me?
yes,
Okay.
Can you hear me?
yes.
Okay, great.
Okay. Okay. So yeah. So you know what? I was thinking about what you were saying, and I thought about when you said just when you think about this year, if this year has taught us anything about that gratitude of having that and realizing that you know we are approaching the holidays, and maybe it's the time to be grateful that the family that you have around you, you know, what I'm saying is is what's most important right now. Not thinking about. Um, a whole lot of gifts and things like that, but the gift that you all are here, right now should be a gift enough for you all and to have that gratitude and to, just like you said, do new traditions, try, do new things, That's one of the things that's really good about helping people get over the holiday blues is, to try to do new things, to do different things, to start new traditions, what I'm saying, and normally, people will have all of their family around them, but now you can't, what I'm saying, and now you have your intimate family around you, your most immediate family. So use that time and just enjoy one another and think of things that you guys can just do together. You know what I'm saying? If you because we know the holidays bring a lot of stress, just like you said. It brings a lot of stress. It's very overwhelming because people are trying to do, everything to make everything perfect for everybody, to make everything great for everybody, to make everybody feel good, things like that. And if we look at the year that we have had, saying just being able to spend it with your family because, saying as, you know, just as a people, saying just, here in this nation, we've lost so many people this year. Saying so many lives have been lost. Saying so. Really looking at that gift of the holidays really is being able to spend it with your family. Saying being blessed that maybe COVID has not touched your home yet, or it has, and you are still here to tell it. Saying, and just being grateful for that, and thinking of things that your family can do just as a unit um, to help, you know, make the holidays good for you and okay for you. And just being in a season of being grateful and having that gratitude because if anything this year is teaching us is about being grateful and having that sense of gratitude and being thankful that you're still here, and your family is here, and you're able to celebrate. You may not be able to celebrate it in the way you always wanted it, the way that you always done it, but the fact that you could do it, say, make some cookies with your family and your kids, or make your own gingerbread house or whatever. Start your own Christmas traditions, within your families, and um, so that you can be safe even within this pandemic, and take that time to really be to be that family. What I'm saying? Have that family game night with just you all. What I'm saying? And doing those things to help create that bond so that you can go into the new year a stronger and better family. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, we know that, like I said, during the holidays can be stressful because people are, trying to do so many things for other people, saying they're trying to make everything perfect, but, we're not in a time where that's important right now. What's important is, your family, you, and, remaining safe and being safe is what
Mhm.
is, um, uh, what's important right now, for real. And being thankful and blessed in the holidays and stuff.
Yeah.
So there are. Do you want to say something?
No, I'm listening to you talk.
Oh,
I mean, what's the topic we talking about?
we're talking about holiday blues. We're just talking about,
Holiday what?
blues, holiday blues,
Oh,
I'll be right back.
Okay, how this time can be stressful for people. This time can be a time where uh, of sadness for a lot of people, and um, helping people be able to get through the holidays better. A lot of people uh, are become depressed when dealing with different situations. A lot of things in the holidays make people depressed. It could be they don't have a job, so they're not able to buy anything for their family members. So that can be stressful for people. That can make people uh, uh, depressed because they're not employed. So we know a lot of people now are not employed because of COVID. So those are some things that people are often stressed about during the holidays. They have people are going to be stressed and depressed about not being able to be with their families like they normally would because of COVID. Especially now that the numbers are on the rise. So when people would normally go see their grandkids, they're not able to do that, or people are not able to see their parents, things like that. So yeah, those are some of the things that will, can make people feel depressed or down during the holidays.
so I think the one thing that we gotta continually tell ourselves because we're human is that depression is of human nature. So there's nothing wrong with being depressed. It's just what you're gonna do with it. Because we all get down in every season. It don't even have to be a holiday.
Yeah.
But like we say, your medicine, your energy is your own medicine. So you can either stay down or you can pick yourself up. So I ain't saying you can't get down. Everybody got down. And somewhere in life, you're gonna have a abundant. Um, I don't even know what I want to say. You're gonna have abundant overflow in life, and then you're gonna have a dry season you go through. And for some people, unfortunately, the holidays is the dry season. But um, the important thing is not to get out in touch with reality. That's what I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can be depressed and say, I don't have this, I don't have that, but look at what you do have. So it's almost like weighing your pros and cons. Okay, might don't have my family members here with me, might don't have this. Like recently, we just lost a friend. Okay, so thinking about his family around Thanksgiving, I'm like, God, it's Thanksgiving next week and he ain't gonna be here. But instead of it trying to hold me down, I look at it as he could have still passed away and I've never known him. So I just say think on the good things and don't let the bad things take that much energy from you because depression is a part of life. Some people go through it, some people don't. It's about what you're gonna do about it. So yeah, because people think when people say I'm depressed or feel like they're depressed, they feel like it's something they can't get out of. So whenever I think of somebody, I'm just not gonna say somebody, because even myself, I just think of it as it's a part of life. So either you're gonna go through it or you're gonna dwell in it.
Well, you do know, depression itself has two different sides. Uh, there is clinical depression where there are people who have a major depressive disorder, and then there are things that put us in depressive states like situational depression, like the holidays, losing your job, saying when you lose a loved one, those type of things. So I think that's the type of depression that you're talking about. It's like, when you find yourself in those places, and it's saying, what do you do with it? How do you want to react with that? Things like that. But then you got the major depressive people who actually have that illness, what I'm saying? And so even during this time, during the holidays, they say that, 64% of the people who are who have a major depressive disorder during the holidays, it gets worse for those people, you know. But then you got, us, saying that, who may not have a major depressive disorder, but still feel on the holidays and can find ourselves depressed, what I'm saying, or, feeling down because, there are a lot of things that, when you think about the holidays itself, there are a lot of things that will stress you out and make you feel depressed, Think about family members that you don't want to be around, that you always around in person. During holidays. Things like that. Those things can be stressful. Those things can cause you to be depressed because you don't want to go.
And I think that's the basis of a lot of that whole holiday blues, right? There's something deeper that we have to look at. It's like, what are these boxes that we're putting ourselves in because it's the holidays, right? Yeah. And if it weren't the holidays, would I be spending time with this person?
Okay.
And so I think there are a lot of things, like there's SADS with seasonal affective disorder.
Yes.
And to me, that's just us still being mad that they snapped us from Africa, because that's where we would get our son from. And so, seasonal affective disorder kicks in exactly towards like the end of August, September type thing.
Yeah.
When, and especially now, look at the time. What time is it? And look outside, it's black. So, and then come springtime, we popping up like bubblegum, like, let's go.
Oh, exactly. Because you get all that sun.
What you doing? So, I mean, if you look at that there is that switch in the climate, and that switch in the climate, the lack of sun, we need sun. We need grounding. You can't stand on a cold earth barefoot in no daggone wintertime. You could try if you want to, but you're going to get sick. Okay. So naturally and ancestrally, we need what was snatched from us years ago that we had nothing to do with. So they gave us the name seasonal affective disorder. In other words, means being snatched away from our land, our natural land, and our natural habitat. Okay, so that's one, right? Then it's the holidays, and this is supposed to be the season that's so happy and jolly. But if it's so happy and jolly, why am I sitting at this table waiting for this person to come in like, oh, I'm not ready to deal with this attitude or this energy or this spirit that this person about to bring up in here, okay? So let me just drink because I don't feel like dealing with it. So let me just numb my feelings, or let me get another piece of sweet potato pie because I have to once again numb my feelings because I don't want to deal with this person. And then you just have other people who are like, happy Thanksgiving, but I'm just going to cook me a regular old dinner. And Merry Christmas, but what I'm going to do is just do something simple, because what's not going to happen is I'm not going to go crazy. I can love you guys and I can love you eventually, but I am not going to create this sense of discomfort, this sense of anxiety, this shoving the issues under the rug as if we're functional, because this whole thing right here is dysfunctional. So then it comes a time where you're like, you know what? I'm just going to stay home for the holidays. Or I'm going to choose to spend time with people who don't trigger me. So we have all other things that we like to shove under the rug and just be like, it's the holidays blues. No, it's our natural response to the fact that we're doing some unnatural stuff. Okay? Under the guise of because it's the holidays.
I totally agree. First of all, I totally agree with you, Molly, 100%, because I look at it a different point of view. I mean, this is how we've been raised. We've been taught to be thankful for Thanksgiving, but mostly all of it is mostly all holidays are pagan holidays, and we don't realize that. Like, we really don't. Like, we don't research how we got the foundation of Thanksgiving. And so I'm going to eat all this food and do all this for what? to be thankful. I'm thankful every day. So it's a culture that we have adapted that, like you said, change it, make your own, do something different. I don't have people. Last year, my cousins and them was up here, right? My little cousin asked me about Christmas, and I said, "Well, I don't celebrate Christmas." And she said, "Oh, that's Jesus' birthday." And I just told her, if that's what you want to believe, okay. But I'm not gonna spoil it for her because she's a kid. I was a kid, ain't nobody spoil it for me. But I just told her, yeah, I know, but I just don't. I don't. Christmas is Christmas. Thanksgiving is Thanksgiving. I'm with you. Happy Thanksgiving, and keep it moving.
Because I promise you, it's only our culture, right? American culture, where we would be like, oh, I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. We say this whole prayer. We cook this big dinner. I'm so thankful for Thanksgiving. But then the next day is Black Friday. And we at the store killing each other, stampeding each other just so we could get the newest and the best. But yesterday, I was just so thankful though. Like,
okay, exactly.
Look at it and be like, for real? Like,
Hey.
Are we serious? And Black Friday, literally for Black people, was when we used to be put for sale.
And people don't realize that.
And Thanksgiving is literally when the natives, who are Black too, were robbed of their land and are trading. Here they were welcoming the Europeans, giving them everything, teaching them how to farm, teaching them how not to die on the land. And they were robbed of their resources, tortured and murdered. And then on Black Friday, we were sold. So it's really, now I'm okay with celebrating family, and I'm okay with celebrating love, and I'm okay with having positive vibrations. Like in September, when I cooked, you guys came up here, like that felt like family.
Okay.
Huh?
Don't talk about that curry chicken, because I've been craving that curry chicken for like since you left for Jamaica. So yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, go ahead.
But, and so I think, like, not to break down what anyone does and what they believe or how they do it, but there comes a time where we have to get to the root and the essence of what something is. Yeah. Okay? Because, honey, the root of the tree affects the fruit of the tree. Yep. And so if people are around being depressed,
put it in the chat. And I need somebody to chat that. Put that in the chat. Somebody better put that in the chat. That is so true, though.
So if people are having these heavy, strong feelings around this time, we have to look at the connotations of where it's coming from, right? Generationally, what is this day representing for us as a people? And we can't lie to ourselves. We have to create those rituals. We have to create those traditions and those practices that feel right and that nourish our souls, and that we're spending time with people who reflect the energy that we now want to continue to carry out. Not just because you carry the name of family that I'm gonna allow you to come around me and trigger me. No.
Yeah, exactly.
No, ma'am.
Yes. Yeah, because it's just like you said, it's about, this is seasonal time. It's about love. It's about joy. It's about family. It's about those things. Like, you don't need to do all these things. I don't need to buy you a $500 TV to show you that I love you and how much you need to be or whatever and things like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to do all this stuff and to give you all these things, these material things, to show you that I love you, or that you mean something to me, or to show you that I am blessed to have you in my life, and that the joy I get is just your presence. You know what I'm saying? The fact that God blessed you into my life and that you're here, you know what I'm saying, and that we're family, and that we're able to still communicate, you know what I'm saying, via Zoom or, Teams or, whatever, or Skype, something like that, or FaceTime. You know what I'm saying? That we can still talk on the phone and things like that, even though we may not be able to physically travel and see each other. You know what I'm saying? But the blessing of family and what that really means, You know what I'm saying? It's like uh, the world, you know, has trained our minds to be so materialistic. You know what I'm saying? And think about so that we think that the things that we buy, the things that we get, and the things that we give people is what creates the happiness, and that's how you show love. But that's not. You know what I'm saying? That's not what shows happiness. That's not what happiness is. You know what I'm saying? That's not what love is. You know what I'm saying? It's being able to love on that person. It's being able to be there for that person. It's being able to wrap your arms around them and support your family. That's how you show your love. You know what I'm saying? And appreciate that you have one another. So,
Yeah.
what did you say, Keisha? Keisha talking about, so what does it mean that I can't have myself $100 first?
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it up there. She talking about, so what does it mean? So she said, so what does it mean that I can't have myself $100 first?
I'm not even gonna touch that one, Keisha. I'm gonna let Beverly have that one. I'm not gonna touch that. When you buy you one, buy me one. I'll wear the $700 one. Put it like that.
But yes, you know, it's like, you know, the value. So that's what we was talking about. Like this year alone, you know what I'm saying? If this year is about to end,
And you
and
didn't
all that we
get
have
it
gone through, and you have not realized the value of family, then you missed the point.
or life, not just family, or life.
Yeah, life, family, yes. You know what I'm
There's
saying?
a reason why everything God had to shut everything down. And God didn't shut down the stores. He shut down the church too, because the church ain't right either.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? So I totally get it, but you know, we gotta change our mindset of how we've been taught for so long. Like, because we've been taught materialistically. We've been taught to, in order to show love, I gotta buy this person something.
Yep.
No, see, people, I'm opposite, because you can give me a gift for Christmas, and I'll tell you from jump, I do not believe in Christmas. But if you buy me a gift, don't expect me to give you one back, because that's not what Christmas is about. But that's what we think it's about. So if you want to bless me, that's fine. But I 9 times out of 10, I'm not. But I let people know up front, I don't do holidays, so none of them. 4th of July, none of them. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. You know, you know what? I want to challenge the people who are listening and the people who want to listen and watch the replay. You know what I'm saying? This is your gift to give this year. Give the gift of a phone call or a text message to check in on someone that you have not checked in on, to love on a family member that you haven't loved on or taken the opportunity to do that. You know what I'm saying, this year. You know, give the gift of your voice. You know what I'm saying? Give the gift of your presence. You know, we have a lot of social media out here where we can keep in contact with family that way. You know, give the gift of writing a letter or just sending that card. You know, saying to let people know that you're thinking about them and that you don't gotta send a gift card, you don't have to send a gift certificate, but you can just send a letter or a note to say, hey, I was thinking about you, I appreciate you, I love you, you know, and those types of things. You know what I mean? I mean, for real. You know, um, because with with this pandemic that the time that we're living in, you know what I'm saying, it's just like it's scary to a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people are literally going to go into the holidays fearful, stressed, depressed, filled with anxiety, and, and a lot of things because of the pandemic, you know, because of just all that they're dealing with right now and everything like that. But people would love to hear your voice. They would love to hear you call and say hello to them and those type of things, you know. Even that family member that you don't want to see during the holidays, you don't got to see it, but you can just call and say hi. May not contribute you that much, but at least it will make your heart feel good to just say hi to them. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah. And look, enjoy the time, enjoy the appreciation of a call. How about that? Let that be your ministry for this year. Enjoy the appreciation of a call. And I say that because I can't stand when you call people and be like, "Oh, you finally called me." Really? Like you ain't got my number. So enjoy the fact that somebody took the time out to call you, text you, do whatever. Just reach out to you. Yeah.
Let go of entitlement, because when we feel entitled to people's energy, then we forget that we need to be grateful. So, you
Yeah.
know, and especially in a time of the type of pandemic that we have, and the part of the body that it affects mostly is our lung, right? And so the fact that we're breathing, being able to inhale and exhale, and those that we love are able to inhale and exhale, like, life is really fragile. And if people don't understand that this year, just how fragile life is, it's like, remember when you were little and your mom used to put things into that, like that case, that glass case, right? You know, the fine china. And you got, listen, okay? And you got to take something out that fine china case, and you
Oh,
had, listen, you had to hold it with two hands,
let me tell
because
you. Yes,
to make
indeed.
sure, if you
Yes,
were washing
indeed.
it, you put it down gently, you make sure that it's not too slippery, you wash it properly, dry it
Mm-hmm.
all properly, like
Mm-hmm.
fine china. Like, that's what our lives are, and that's what those people that we love, that we share space with every day, they're our fine china. And we have to hold that near and dear, that life is fragile. We'll be right together in the same space together, and we leave. I don't let my children leave me without letting them know that I love them, ever. And I learned that when I was teaching in DC years ago. And my friend's best friend, her son went to school, and he was a seventh grader, and he was rushing to pick up his DS that he had loaned a friend. And the little boy got hit by a truck, and he didn't make it after like 20 hours of surgery. And his mom was like, I kept telling him what he needed to do to make sure he did his chores, and he did this and did that. He said, but I didn't tell him that I loved him. I didn't tell him that I loved him. And at that point, I hadn't had Anaya yet. Emmanuel was a little boy. And I was like, you know what? Mm-mm. I don't let my babies go anywhere without being like, I love you.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because we need to know that.
Yep.
They need to know that. We need to know that. And the people in our lives need to know that they are loved. And so once we have and hold that near and dear, that none of these moments that we have are promised. We're
Mm-hmm.
so entitled, and we think that we're going to do this tomorrow. And oh, what am I going to do tomorrow? You're not sure about tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Have to, once we live like that and we take no step in vain, then you get a new appreciation for life, because you understand that, listen, every single moment that we have is a blessing.
I, I just to piggyback on what you said, I heard a preacher say, "You should live life as if you're dying and not living." And that's kind of true. You should live life like this is always your last chance. So, don't turn your back on nobody. Always show people love, forgive.
Yeah.
Forgiveness is a big key in life. So, you're right. I like the analogy you gave with that fine china, because out that china.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I thought about when you said that, I thought about you reap what you sow.
And
That's what made me
know.
think about that.
Yeah.
Because
So
when you was talking about the thing of the china and how you took it out and you had to take care of it, my mother would say, if you break my pot, I'm gonna break your behind. So that's how we gotta treat life. If you break others, you're gonna be broken.
and so I'm going to read Keisha's comment that she wrote. she said, seriously, she's the one who commented about the $700 person. So she was just like, seriously, I have been in a place with my health. All I wanted to do is get better. So when you have health and it's challenged, she said, so when your health is challenged, it will put everything in different perspective. That is so true. And the material things don't matter. The relationships and loved ones. And that is true. That is true. It is. It really is. And so, it's like, it's time to stop valuing those material things and valuing the relationships that you have and your loved ones, and how much you love and you appreciate them. It's like you just said about that fine china. Those people who are in our lives are like that fine china. Your life itself is like that fine china. Keisha, we were having a conversation earlier today. I wrote something down, and I'm trying to see where is it. What did I write? It's like when you think about all that we're dealing with, what we're going through, and we were talking about how when you have a heart to help people, what I'm saying, and you have that heart to do so much for other people, but just as you have that heart to help people, you have to have the heart to help yourself. And that's why we say your energy is your own medicine. You have to have a big enough heart to help the people that you love, and to love on the people that you love, and to be there for the people you love. But your heart has to be bigger than that, so that you can love on yourself. Bless you.
Thank you.
So that you can love on yourself. And when you can love on yourself, then you can love the people who are around you. And the people that you have relationships with. That's what it's about.
That's good when you say you put things in. She said she put things in perspective when you're dealing with a health issue, which is true, because you don't want to have no ill will towards people, period. But at the same time, if that person is not aiding to your self wealth and health, then sometimes you got to close that door. But you got to close it in the right way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Miss Jackson said hello. She said, hey, DCT.
Hey, Miss Jackson. You said Miss Jackson?
Yep.
Hey.
Hey, Miss Jackson, we miss you. And hey, everybody that's watching. But yeah, we do. And I want to some ways to deal with the holiday blues. Limit the amount of alcohol. You know what I'm saying? Don't.
Okay.
I know they're gonna be hard for some people. Limit your amount of alcohol. Make sure you get plenty of sleep. Learn to say no. Be open to new traditions.
Mm-hmm.
Get support when you are mourning a loved one that you missed during the holiday time. Spend some time with your loved ones, with your family, and your friends. Exercise regularly. Do something fun to help you get over some of the things that may make you sad or feel down during the holidays, and avoid overeating, like we said. You know what I'm saying? That's the time when you do it because you're depressed and things like that. So avoid overeating, over drinking. You know what I'm saying? Say
Just
no.
Overindulgence, over shopping, all of it.
Overspending.
Yes, overindulgence. Like,
Yeah.
ask yourself why before you make any decisions. Why am I doing this? Like, if you're eating, am I still hungry? Are you drinking? Did I have enough? Like, because I think when it comes to life, like in anything, it's always harder to build, but it's easy to destroy. And that's our health. Our health. When you think about when you're exercising, or you're sacrificing so that you could eat properly, it's hard to keep sacrificing. But as soon as you overindulge and then it shifts your health habits or it shifts your health, you're like, okay, how do I fix this? So let's just keep consistent, understanding that easy does it, you know. And like I said, if Christmas is on a Tuesday, the next day is still going to be Wednesday. So
That's true.
That's true. I like that, hard to build and easy to destroy, which is so true.
with everything, if you think about you're building a house, if you're getting a house, they want to know what you did in 1963. You got to prove everything to purchase a home. But get mad and decide you want to destroy that house. It'll take a good half an hour to tear it up. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
So
That's true.
Yes, that is true. That is true.
That's a good sermon right there. Praise God.
Okay.
That's indeed.
Can't. Oh. Yes, but you know, we want you to remember your remember the people that is closest around you. Remember that you know that you have family, you have friends that love you. You know, and during this time is the time to remind yourself of that, to remind others of that, to be thankful with the relationships that you know God has allowed you to build, and the family and friends that have allowed you. You know, what I'm saying that. No, I just got this talk. She's closing the door.
Tell Tasha I said good night. Tell her good night. Good night. Good night, Tasha. Good night.
Uh-oh. So, yeah, we this can be a difficult time for people, and we want to make sure everybody stays encouraged. We want you to keep doing your spot checks. Yeah, but is it do we call it spot checks or checkpoints? Spot checks.
yeah, your spot check. So halt. Are you hungry, angry, lonely, tired? And then also with the fact that we're so-called on a second wave of the pandemic, remembering to keep yourself healthy, that you know what stress does to the immune system. If you go outside and you come back in and you start feeling a certain way, like you start feeling some tightness in your chest, or you start feeling your nose is itchy or stinging, you know, as simple as just squeezing lemon in a pot of water and boiling it and getting some steam up your nostrils can help. Making sure that you're taking your vitamin C, that you're drinking your healing teas. You know, just remembering that although the holiday season is around and we have those weights of seasonal depression and whatever may be causing us to feel low, then we still have looming behind us the pandemic, right? And so just keeping constant with making sure that you're maintaining your health, and whatever that looks like to you.
So, what kind of teas can we be drinking?
Definitely, I think a blood cleaner is important. So either Cersei and Neem are important. You know, my well-being blend has the mango leaf, soursop leaf, and hibiscus, which is high in vitamin C in it. Also, like the COVID blocker has the Vervine, and otherwise known as verbena, and that tea has been, and it also has fever grass, which are two of the leading teas that are linked to after having about 2 cups of them not being able, scientists not being able to pick up the virus of COVID in the blood. So just making sure that we keep those healthy things tangible, that you can just reach for them and heal yourself, because I'm all about having what you need accessible. You know, I've believe that, you know, God created the earth and God created our medicine on the earth. And so to be able to access those things and not have to go to no doctor, wait on any line that's lapping around, so you could go get tested, being able to listen to your body. If your chest is feeling tight, if your nose is stinging, if your nasal passage is itching, just being able to access certain things that can rid the body of whatever type of antibodies it might have picked up in contact right away. You know, and you know, I'm after teaching history for 20 years and being a Black woman in America, I have my own conspiracy theories. Um, you know, even just being in Jamaica for 2 weeks and then coming back over here, the air quality is different here. You know, and nobody can tell me different. You know, even just today, like I'm very careful because I care about my health. I care about my family's health. Today I left, I went to the grocery store and I came back in. And as soon as I came back in, like my nose was just stinging. And I'm like, nobody can tell me they're not spraying things into the atmosphere because I didn't do anything out of the ordinary. It's not like I went and had dinner at a restaurant or I was around people who didn't have on masks or anything. And so I knew right away, like colloidal silver is one of the first antibiotics that they had before they ever had penicillin or anything else. They had colloidal silver, which is literally putting silver in water. And so my mom got me the nasal spray months ago. And so I was like, okay, let me do the nasal spray. And I did 3 squirts in each nostril. And then I put on some tea to steam, some hibiscus tea, and did a steam because I know that whenever you're contacting the virus upon like right away, you will feel it in your nasal passage or you'll feel it in your chest, that tightness in your chest. So I quickly did the colloidal silver and then did a steam, like, you know, maybe 5 minutes of steam just going into the nasal passage so that whatever it is that I might have contacted will dissipate. And, you know, that was it. It stopped right there. But listening to your body, knowing that our body speaks to us, it tells us right away when we eat certain things, if it agrees with us or not, our body tells us. Whether or not we decide to listen is a whole other thing. But listening to those signs and right away being like, all right, what do I need to do to make sure that I fix this? Because for me, sickness isn't an option. Not when we have all these herbs that Mama Earth has given us. I will grab at anything. Y'all know I will grab anything. I'll be like, y'all better mix this and boil that and do this and churn that and take it.
How you get back on? You still on there? You frozen? Okay, and that's it. You know, okay. I'm having a conversation with you while I'm looking at you on the screen. Okay, you know, okay. So yeah, but then you know what? Yeah, you know, because I love it. I drink a cup of hibiscus tea every day. I love hibiscus. I ordered the ones off of Amazon, the good hibiscus tea, so I brew it like that. I just put it in my little brew thing, and put it in my cup. That's what I have in here right now. I have my hibiscus in here, and so yeah, I drink a cup of hibiscus every day. I drink a cup of mullein every day. Sometimes I mix the hibiscus with the mullein. You know what I'm saying? Because whenever I feel myself, like especially if I go out and I come back in and I feel like my chest is kind of congested or something like that or whatever and everything like that, I drink some mullein tea. You know, the mullein is good for respiratory. So I drink that. I drink sometimes too. I be blending my tea, not like it. Sometimes I have hibiscus, blackberry, black elderberry, ginger, and the mullein all in one teacup. I put it all together, you know, and do it like that, you know. And so yeah, so I do those things, and when I and then like when I have Miss Marlon's well-being, which I'm out of, just let you know. So I made some well-being the other day. I had a little bit left, so I made the well-being. I put some well-being. I added some extra soursop because I only had a little bit of well-being, and I had the biscuits, and I added the ginger and then the elder.
Right.
Allspice. Yep.
Right.
Yeah. So I have a little bit left in the refrigerator. Yeah, I'm running out. Yeah. So I need to re up on that and re up, and I need to get the COVID.
Okay.
But I still have antiviral left. But if you need any of those things, hit me up so I can hit her up, or we can we'll do a post to get your teas and stuff like that, so you can because she will build them to you as well. So you need those things.
Because the best thing is to at least have your medicine there, have it accessible. Because if you're not feeling well, you need to be able to access what you need to get it out of the body. I believe that every sickness has its incubation period. And if you let it pass a certain point, then it's going to be harder to fight it out your system. Yeah. But once you attack it quickly right away, then you're able to get it out of your system quickly.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. I know that there's a place that I go to on Mulberry Pike sometimes. It's called the Natural Health Center, and I remember one time I was sick, and I had like a very bad sinus infection or a touch of the flu, and she told me to do a detox while I was having those symptoms, because doing that detox helps detoxify the body so that whatever's in it, so if you do the detox, you will heal yourself faster with that.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do a post about the teas so that you can get your teas from Ms. Brown. We want you to remember. Okay, so if we can come on and ask you about helping somebody that's sick or something. You can just come to the studio.
Yes, Tamika, what happened to your screen?
Yeah. She said, what happened to your screen? I don't know. She accepted a call and then knocked her out.
Oh, okay.
Well, come on. Oh, there you go.
Let me grab my book. I'm coming right now.
Okay.
Be the glory. Look at that. So the great things he has done. All right. That's Molly back in the background.
Won't he do it?
Won't he do
it?
So my girl just called me. She said she ate a banana, and I don't know why she ate a banana, but I guess she's allergic to it. So she said her throat itching and her eyes swelled up. So she said her neighbor's about to bring her some Benadryl, and she said she itching all over.
So yeah, the best thing to do is the Benadryl. That's the quickest way. The other teas, like the other things that I have, there's this thing called Bissy, and that's a herb that we get in Jamaica that alkalines out the body right away. But the best thing for her right away would be the Benadryl.
The Benadryl, okay.
The Benadryl, because my daughter had allergies, and we used to have to keep that. But believe it or not, she's become a pescatarian for like the past 3 months, and since she stopped eating meat, we stopped needing.
Oh wow!
She's literally stopped having to have Benadryl, and we had to have it on deck at all times. But since she's cut back on the meat and just doing fish and like vegetables, no need for it.
Oh, okay.
So your friend is away from the bananas, but she probably also wants to do a cleanse and to keep a food journal too, because that's an extreme reaction to bananas. So you might also have other allergies as well. So by keeping a food journal, she'll be able to see how her body reacts when she eats certain things.
Huh? I don't. Beverly talking to me, Lord. Hello. I am, but we're waiting on you. Apostle, can you hear me? Hello. Yeah, I tried to get on the phone. She ain't answered. Or maybe I dialed the wrong number. I don't know. But so everybody should keep Benadryl in their house. Some form of Benadryl.
I wouldn't say everybody should, but if you are triggered with allergies, yeah, you wanna have that on deck. And the best type of Benadryl, believe it or not, is the children's one, the liquid one, because the liquid one goes to the bloodstream quicker than the capsule, because the capsule has to then break down and disintegrate and mix with the blood. But the liquid one, because our blood is liquid, goes to the bloodstream quicker and will alter the allergic reaction, at least stop it on point.
Oh,
quickly.
That's good to know.
Mm-hmm.
That's good to know.
Mm-hmm.
So
tell us what you
know about it. So what did you have for the COVID? You said you had something, a blocker or something?
So the COVID blocker.
Yeah.
1 second. The COVID blocker has fever grass in it, and fever grass is one of those teas that were like when it first came out in Wuhan, China. Was the fever grass was being used by scientists and doctors to stop the COVID. Vervine is also another one, also known as verbena, which is after 2 cups of the Vervine, you're not able to, the virus doesn't show in the blood either. And then the other leaf that I put in the COVID blocker is the mango leaf, which is an antiviral. And any type of virus that you contact, the mango leaf, because it's so packed in vitamin C, pushes it out of the blood. So together, those 3 make up the COVID blocker, basically.
So when you brew that all together, you drink just a cup of tea or a shot or?
No, that's it. Like when people brew it together, I'm telling them to like drink a cup. Drink a cup in the morning, 1 in the evening, 1 at night. Because I don't know if you guys remember, like last November when they were saying that these extreme flu symptoms were coming around and so many people were getting sick.
Mm-hmm.
That was COVID. Okay. There's nobody can tell me that it wasn't COVID. And so certain family members were getting ill, and I'm all for the hot teas right away, 3 times a day until we don't see any more symptoms. Also, if anyone feels like they're having the symptoms, I suggest that they get an electric blanket, because the best thing to do is to try to sweat it out your system. You want to be able to fight it with the teas for the inside of the body, but for the outside of the body, when you're sleeping, make sure that you have something warm to kind of force it out the system so that you're sweating and it's coming out of your pores. Another thing as well is onions. Remember that when they used to be like, put an onion in his sock if he got a fever. Listen, slice the onion and have it on your side table. The onion literally absorbs whatever type of bacteria, whatever type of sickness is in the air in the bedroom. And when my son was ill in November, I just listened to spirit. Like my spirit was like, he needs to be quarantined. Like he had to be separate from the rest of the house. And so his room was up in the attic. And literally, like when I was bringing his soups and his teas and everything to him, I had made a mask out of my t-shirt. Like the only thing that was out was my eyes. Everything else was covered up. And so, it's just important that we continue to know that Like the onions, after a day and a half of the onions being in the room when he wasn't feeling well, they would be like dark. Okay. So whatever it was that they were absorbing, and even if you notice now, ever since they started talking about like, COVID, watch when y'all cooking. All them onions are bad now. You can't get one good sound onion from any grocery store. When you slice open the onion, it's going to be some part of it that you have to remove. And I cook. That. So why is because stuff is being sprayed in the air. Like I'm telling you, like, and I cook and I pay attention to everything. I have not been able to find one sound onion since so-called COVID came into play from March. Every onion that I cut open, there has to be a piece of the onion that I remove before I cook it. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so whenever anybody is in the house not feeling well and it seems like it's a COVID symptoms, make sure there's a chopped onion. If you got 2 side tables, make sure it's a onion cut on the right side table, an onion cut on the left side table. And I would say that again.
That's any onion?
Any kind of onion. Okay. I use the white onions because the purple onion, you really can't see if it gets dark. You know what I'm saying? Like the whiter onion or the yellow onion, cut down the middle and open. And I would sit it in a Ziploc bag so that like the onion juice and all that stuff doesn't get to the dressing table. But definitely I would have to be replacing those onions at least a day and a half, 2 days. They would start turning dark.
If you're out there, real quickly, if you have a question, write it in the chat so we can ask her. Yeah, but I've heard the onion thing. I used to keep an onion cut in my room. Mm-hmm. And I totally forgot about that too.
Me too, I did. But you usually hear people say, use the purple onion. So, but like you said, I can't tell because it's purple.
Mm-hmm. Right. So I was using the white ones and they was turning dark. And I was like,
So I want to encourage everybody, if you listen, because of all these viruses and bacteria that's in the air now, I'm about to purchase one on Saturday. Every house should have an air purifier.
Yep.
Everyone should invest in an air purifier.
I got one on my desk.
Yeah, definitely got a small one, but we're going to get one that's big for the house.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that's a good investment.
Yep. You want to give your household something for Christmas? Get an air purifier.
Our brother Dave just bought one. So he bought one for upstairs and one for downstairs, a big size one. So he said I can tell the difference in the air quality in my house. He said he can tell it. The air is much clearer. He feel like he can breathe better. And when you buy it, look at the reviews on it, because a lot of people on the reviews are telling their personal testimony. Like my allergies, oh my God, I never had no relief from my allergies until I bought the air purifier. So everybody should have an air purifier in the house.
Yeah, you should.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
And just like Marlon said, it's so much stuff in the air now. You can't even go downtown. If you go downtown, there's at least, I'm gonna say 20 cranes up. So when you get all that demolition and all that construction going at one time, all them particles are in the air.
Yeah.
They're
Toya
in the air.
she can do COVID blocker. Toya, we'll send you Marlon's information. You can order it from her. Toya said she wants the COVID.
How much is the COVID blocker?
This size is 100, and the smaller size is 15.
So the smaller size, would you use that whole pack to brew?
Yeah, because when I tell people in terms of like brewing, especially now, it's something that you want to have access to. Because just like how we have access to the virus, we want to have access to the medicine. So I'm going to tell you to brew this in a small saucepan. This will be like in a big rice pot. And you're not adding anything to this. Like everything that's needed is already in it. And I'm not going to even tell you to add any type of sweetener to your medicine. because you just want it to get to your bloodstream and work right away. Whereas the well-being, you know, we add our fruits and our berries and all of that. With the COVID blocker, it's straight business. Water and plant.
So then with the COVID blocker, that package, so you use that one package one time, or you can do like, you can probably make about 3 pots of teas out of that.
This one?
Yeah.
Yes, you can make, this is actually about 6 times the amount of this one.
Yeah.
And
so
this is going to make you about 4 cups of tea.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you're listening and you think about that COVID blocker, the big bag that's $100, you could make like 3 big pots out of that. So you can make a pot of it, and then you'll still have enough to make 2 more pots when you're ready to make 2 more pots. Yeah. So so if you're thinking, like maybe I should get the $15 one. The $15 one is not going to last you that long, but the $100 one will. So like if you make a pot of it and you drink it when you feel those symptoms, or whatever, and then you might not need it for a couple of weeks or something like that. And then yeah.
That's what I was about to say. Even if you don't use it, it's good to have it. It's good to have it because you might need it. So that's why I am now. I didn't tell Belly. Belly was talking about, I heard she telling about her the mullein. I'm like, we have 3 boxes of mullein tea in here. You got like 3 boxes of ginger tea. Like, we just keep it because you gotta have stuff in your house now.
You have to. Like I said, times are changing, and we have to change with the times. Like, our medicine has to be right there, accessible, right on deck. Like, before I left for Jamaica, I text my clients, especially one client that lives in Baltimore, and I'm like, I'm about to leave. Don't make your face like that, Beverly. Like, don't do that. So I'm like, listen, let me know what you need because I'm about to leave. Okay, no response. Then I get to Jamaica and I'm like, I get a text message. He's like, I am so stressed out. My daughter has COVID. I'm like, I know I text you before I left to make sure that you had what you needed on deck, because it's different when your tea, and he's a client that he's like, Marlon, you brew it. I don't know how to brew it. You brew it. Here you go. It's different when you already have your medicine right there and you could just pour it and be like, here, versus now I'm in another country. If you are able to access the dried teas, you can, but it's not brewed. And so, this isn't a time for us to like play with our health and to play with, for me personally, there's no better medicine. Nothing aids my body better than a plant. No pill, no nothing that anyone has ever given me aids me better than plant medicine aids me. Because it gets right to the sickness and then I don't have to deal with no side effects, okay? Because I know that you guys pay attention to those commercials. Sometimes the side effects is worse than the sickness that you're trying to ward off. So, with these conventional medicines that they're so-called selling us, go for your plant medicine.
Toya said, how did she measure the COVID blocker? Like when you're making it, how do you measure it? Like if you get the big
she would measure it, right?
Say that again. Like,
she said, like how does she know how much to put in the pot?
Okay, so for this package, right, it's 4 cups of tea. So usually if I'm going to make 4 cups of tea, y'all want me to go get a small pot? I would just, like, if you're doing a kettle, if you have a kettle and you make your tea in a kettle, then what would be equate to 4 cups of tea? But the COVID blocker doesn't have any type of medicine in it that's like, oh, you can't have more than a cup a day, or you can't have, it doesn't have those type of reactions. So it's something where if you drink 2 cups a day, you're fine. If you drink 4 cups a day, you're fine, depending on what your body needs.
Yeah, because I have a cast iron kettle that I bought that has the little basket in it. So I put my leaves in that, and so Like when I start making the well-being tea, I make it in that first, and then I um, I boil all the medicine out of it that I can in the first 1 or 2 brews. Then I empty it out, put another batch in there, put that in there, and then I put it in a bigger pot, and let it.
And thank you for saying that, because when you brew your first batch, and let's say you get 4 cups of tea out of this, there's still going to be medicine left in the plant, right? And you can brew another batch as well. It might not be as dark as your first batch was because you're pulling out the plant blood with your first boil, but there's still medicine in it that you can get for a second brew as well.
Yep. I learned that from her.
So I'm going to get one Saturday, Marlon.
Say that again?
I'm going to get the COVID blocker Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just put it in the mail for you.
Okay. And now
right.
Got you.
Okay.
Got you.
And you want your well-being, you'll let me know, Beverly, because you've said it at least 10 times on this call with a little roll to your eyes every time.
Yeah, because she said she texts people, but I didn't get no text. I didn't get no text. I didn't get no telegram, nothing. What's up? When I text her, she's talking about I'm in Jamaica. I'm just saying, you went in Jamaica, you didn't know. It active, you didn't think before you left. What? Okay, but we really hope that we've been on for a while. Like, when we start going, we go, but we haven't talked in a while, so we had to make up for the time when we lost.
Right.
When she was in Jamaica, yes.
And we're talking about COVID, but for those of you who do get my information, like any health issue that you have, and you call
high blood pressure tea.
Say that again. High blood pressure tea.
Yes,
that would
have a high blood pressure.
That would be the hibiscus, wouldn't it?
That would be the hibiscus and soursop.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Definitely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you sell soursop in small packages as well.
Yes, I do. And any other health issues that you have, I use the Bartman's Encyclopedia along with just like my life experiences to answer the question. So usually I'm able to get like a comprehensive look at what you're dealing with, and then also not only what type of teas you should drink, but what type of dietary plan you should follow as well.
Okay. Well, as always, we have enjoyed our tea. Enjoyed our healing conversations. We hope that.
Did you say?
What?
Did you say tea time?
I did, but I corrected myself. When you pay attention. Pay attention. DCT.
Whatever.
As always, we hope that you were blessed by our conversation today. We pray that it was healing to you, that you got some wisdom, that you got some knowledge, that you got some information. Toya, diabetes, good. Neem is good for that. She also has that, and that's something that that me and DCT drink also. We thank you for coming. We thank you for joining us. So Toya, you can order you can get the soursop from Marlon as well as the heat for the diabetes. Excuse me. Oh wow, I got indigestion. I gotta drink me some pepperoni.
And ginger helps with that. The pepperilo helps also.
Yeah. So I'm gonna drink some ginger. So we always thank you for joining us. Again, always if you need any help, if you need any resources, if you need the resources or services, feel free to contact me at 202-765-1435. Our virtual health ministry will definitely help you find the needs that you need, that you're in need of. I will be posting um, information about the teams as well as information about the battle scars. And as always, I leave you with a challenge or some homework. So your homework assignment for this week is as we approach the holidays, I want you to make a list of 5 people that you're closest to. And then next to those 5 people, I want you to write why those people are close to you. What makes those people the closest to you? And when you find yourself in a place that's uncomfortable, when you find yourself in a down place or in a depressive state, reach out to those people that you put in your hoop circle that's closest to you. And so that's what I want you to do. I challenge you to do that, to create a hoop circle, make about 5 circles, put your name in the center, and look at the 4 people that's closest to you and why they're close to you, and utilize and tap those relationships when you need them and when you need the help and support that you need. We all have a circle of support around us. We just have to use it. So we want you to do that. We thank you for listening. Welcome back, Marlon. And we want you to always remember one, ladies, that your energy is your own medicine.
What?
Right.
Wait a minute. Say it again.
Your energy is your own medicine.
Lord, I had that thing all backwards. Mm-hmm. Your energy is I don't know what I said. I said something about your medicine. No, I said your medicine is your energy or something.
Listen, it's the same thing, though. It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
True that. True.
Okay.
True.
You sure that's all you got your tea on?
That's it. I did my ginger tea with my honey. That's it. Positive.
All right.
All right.
All right. Good night, everybody.
All right.
Thank you.